Hey guys, it's Jeff Master Flash and welcome. We are with F1 2019. The Formula 2 series is done, dusted. I have signed with AMG Mercedes, the Silver Arrows, and we are at Albert Park. So, obviously these are going to be a little bit of highlights and then the full race. We will go from there. That is probably about the best way to work it, I think. Right there, we are in qualifying and I managed to pull out a time of a 1:24.2. That was the best time I tried, and believe me, it was extremely difficult to get that time. It's probably the best time I've ever done on Australia.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula 1 season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. Just south of Melbourne's downtown business centre is the one and only Albert Park circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy circuit with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake and a couple of good passing opportunities here as well, thanks in part to the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 13. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula 1. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula 1 season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Joker lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Weber, Hamilton, Kevin Magnussen and Perez, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, Stroll and Lando Norris. Grosjean, Butler, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Alexander Albon and Vettel, Kvyat, Russell, Kimi Raikkonen and Carlos Sainz. Giovinazzi and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
What a great way to start the season, pole position. Now let's take the win.
But the race didn't go as well as planned. I just couldn't catch Verstappen. He made a blistering start, and yeah, it went on from there. Had a nice little scrap and pretty much awesome. Let me give you guys a little bit of a tip. The undercut works. The undercut works absolutely awesomely, and I've tried it in every race I've done so far. This was obviously recorded pre the 105 patch. So handling is a little bit suspect. Took me quite a while to get on the power. Bearing in mind, I'm not using my feet, I'm not using pedals, I'm using the buttons on a steering wheel, and it's proven difficult pre-patch. So here is for better racing. I hope you enjoy my career mode, guys. If there is anything else you want to see, let me know. All this race was run at 95% difficulty, and I'm increasing it as each race goes on. So yeah, if you like what you see, hit that like button. If you love what you see, please hit that subscribe button. As I said, this is Albert Park. This is only the first race of my career, and we shall see where we go from there. Hope you enjoy it, guys. Have a brilliant day. Peace.
Verstappen is ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 1.2 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 1 lap old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 32.6. Okay, some information on Perez. They have some kind of mechanical problem. Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums. Second place, you're in second place. Verstappen ahead, the gap is less than a second. They're on old softs. Weber is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Your pit window opens in 2 laps time. 13 laps to go. Verstappen is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.1 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 2 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:28.2. You're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work. Be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon. Gap to teammate behind is 2.3 seconds. Verstappen ahead, gap to car in front is 1.4 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 28.8. You're losing around 0.3 a lap. This lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. start losing some tyre grip around now. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres. Great maneuver. You made it look easy. Lewis is in the pits. Battery is low on energy. Reduce ERS deployment. Verstappen behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 6 laps to go. We're leading our teammate by 22.0 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. bonus is 3.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:30.2. First position, front of the pack. Weber is behind you. The gap to the car behind is 4.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. This is your final lap of the race. Superb driving. That's the race win.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Joker takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Sebastian Vettel would definitely be my first choice. He showed up a lot of the drivers out on the track today and didn't show any signs of slowing down.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.